Hello and welcome back to another episode of my natural hair journey. I'm super glad you decided to tune in. So today, we are not actually doing my hair. I'm actually gonna put it in twisties tonight, so that'll be in the next video. I'm gonna braid it up, just my hair though. Today we are talking about how to know your own hair, right? So on this journey of me figuring out what products I'm using for my hair and what products are gonna work best to give me the results, there are some things that I needed to find out to know about my hair and to know what products to find. So maybe you're at the beginning of your search, or maybe the products you're using aren't working for your hair and you're trying to figure out how to find the right products. So there's a few things that are really important in figuring out what kind of hair you have and what kind of hair works best for you. So the first thing is your hair shape, right? That's just basically like the curl pattern that you have. So if your hair has no bends in your hair at all, like no noticeable bends, then you have straight hair. If your hair is slightly wavy with some soft S bends, then you have wavy hair, right? Which is more like my hair texture. You can kind of see it, but it's like kind of loose. And then the next one is if you have tight curls, so your curls are tighter, they kind of shrink up hard. That kind of hair is curly. And if you have the actual coil in your hair, then it's the spiral curls that you have. So those are the different hair shapes. So knowing that will let you know what kind of hair you have and what kind of products to change your hair in another way. So my hair is wavy, I'm trying to get it curly. So now I know that I need to look for curly products versus wavy products. So it helps with that. And then the next thing is your hair porosity, right? So this is just basically how much you can absorb products, how much your hair has the ability to absorb whatever it is that you're putting on it, right? So there's two types, there's low porosity and there's high porosity. If you have low porosity, then basically you have flat strands, your hair is closed and it doesn't absorb the product easily. So if you put water on your hair, you will literally see the water droplets still sitting on the strand. Same thing with oil. You'll see it initially still sitting on the strands because it doesn't absorb it easily. So that kind of hair, it's better to absorb when you're putting you put products on a damp hair, so it's more relaxed to absorb the product. And then also, in addition to putting on moisturizing product, also doing it in a method that has a sealant over it. So like oil, really locking it in, right? But if you have high porosity, that means there are holes in your cuticles, right? So it absorbs the product really easily, but it doesn't hold it for a long time. So your hair gets dry really fast. So you need to find a thicker moisture. So you're basically putting a lot of product in your hair, keeping it extra juicy all the time because it gets dehydrated easily. So those are the two types for that. So then there is your hair density, right? So that is how much hair you actually have, how many actual strands are in your head. So if you take the front part of your hair and you part it and pull it forward, when you separate it, if you can see through it and you can see more of your scalp in your head, then you have thin density, right? But if you part it, which in my hair, if you part it, you can't see anywhere beyond that one line where you part. So that would be thick density. And if you're somewhere in between, you can kind of see it, it's medium density, right? So that just lets you know, as far as applying it, if you have not that many strands, you won't use as much product because you don't have as much hair to apply it to. Fourth and last thing you should know about what kind of hair you have is the diameter, right? Which this is basically how thick or thin the actual strand of your hair is. So this isn't the amount, this is the actual thickness of your individual strand. So if you were to peel out one strand and you lay it on a table, or you put it between your fingers like that. If you can barely feel it, it's thin, and if you can really feel it, it's thicker, right? So generally, if you have the thicker hair, it's coarse hair. That's what they call that group, the coarse hair. So I am more on the coarse side. Coarse hair usually has more texture and also loses moisture more quickly. So it needs thicker, like more moisturizing products, where if you have thin hair, which is more so like when you see your hair straight like that, then your hair doesn't really need as much moisture, as much application to it for when you're utilizing your products. So those are the main things that you really need to know about your hair when figuring out what products are going to work for you and what products best suits your hair and what you're trying to get your hair to do. So send to a friend if you know they're starting their hair journey, because I know I could have used this video when I first started. Like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to hit that bell so you can get alert every time I drop another My Natural Hair video. And have a great rest of your day.